Graham here, living the dream in May 2025, and I'm staying with our fantastic friends Tom and Star at their beautiful home in rural Tennessee. This, guys, is part one of my trip from London to here in Knoxville via Philadelphia on board American Airlines. And in this first episode, you'll be following me on board an American Airlines 787-9 Dreamliner from London across to Philadelphia.
Hi, I'm Graham, and this is my wife Fiona, and we have always had a work hard, play hard philosophy. From London to New York, and of course the Caribbean, we live our dream through travel. And of course, the odd cocktail. And here on YouTube, we create our memories while living our dream. So come and join us as we share our memories with you. You join me at London Heathrow Terminal 5, where I'm transferring off my British Airways domestic service from Glasgow down to London Heathrow and of course Terminal 5, as I make my way across to Terminal 3, where I'll be picking up my American Airlines service across to Philadelphia. I didn't record my flight from Glasgow down to London Heathrow, which was on board a British Airways Airbus A320, which was in Euro Club. Basically, British Airways domestic business class service. The bottom line, guys, that flight left on time and arrived here at London Heathrow 20 minutes ahead of schedule, which is great news for me because I only had 90 minutes to transfer from Terminal 5 across to my American Airlines service to Philadelphia, which was leaving from Terminal 3. And I know it's been a few years since you've seen me transfer from Terminal 5 to Terminal 3 at London Heathrow, but I have to say, guys, it's very well signposted, and there's this free shuttle bus service airside between the terminals. The bus was very busy this morning, so I didn't feel like I could really record any footage. So right now I'm heading to the Flight Connection Centre here at Heathrow's Terminal 3. And again, guys, it is very easy. It is very well signposted. However, when you arrive in Terminal 3, you are going to have to go through security clearance again. Because what you've got to remember is many of the passengers transiting through Terminal 3 have arrived in on flights from outside the UK. And as you'll understand, I didn't film the security process. But what I will say, just like at Glasgow Airport earlier this morning, a lot of the large UK airports have been investing even in upgrading their security scanners, which means you don't have to empty your bags at all. It's super quick and super easy because you don't have to empty your laptop, your iPads, your liquids, etc. However, I did have to remove my belt, but again, guys, it was a very simple process. The only downside, guys, yep, I had to walk the gauntlet of the duty-free shop. As I've said on every trip report on board American Airlines in the last 3 years, AA are extremely good at keeping you proactively up to date on the gate and the gate changes via email or text. And that meant when I arrived in London Heathrow's Terminal 5 off my flight from Glasgow this morning, I knew exactly what gate I was heading for at T3. And when I arrived at the gate, it was very busy, where I had my passport checked and my boarding pass scanned once again. What I didn't realise, because I was travelling in premium economy, I could have used the fast track lane. That was one lesson learned this morning. But all in all, guys, there was very little hanging around at Heathrow this morning. I really just went from plane to plane. And as the safety video played, we prepared for pushback. I'm sorry guys that the video quality here or the colour of the image isn't that great, but I think it's got something to do with these tinting windows that you get in the Boeing Dreamliners. I'm not 100% sure. But right now we're taxiing to runway 09 right here at London Heathrow Airport. And that meant we'd be taking off in the direction of London City itself, before making a number of right turns to set us up for a westbound course towards the United States. I didn't realise until recently that two aircraft entering the same departure runway at Heathrow was a common occurrence. I was watching a My Layover Life episode on YouTube a few weeks ago when Paul, a United captain, was explaining that two aircraft often at Heathrow enter the same runway to try and expedite the departure process. However, that particular episode was describing an occurrence a number of months ago at Heathrow where the aircraft taxiing on to the departure runway got caught in the jet wash of the departing aircraft in front. It wasn't a very serious incident and the aircraft behind simply got nudged back slightly under the jet wash of the departing aircraft in front. As we climbed away from London across southern England towards Wales, it was strange to see England's green and pleasant land replaced by brown. The bottom line, guys, at the point in May that I headed to the United States, the UK had been in a heat wave for nearly 8 weeks, and this simply meant that the green fields of England were no longer green. But it wasn't very long until we were over the blue of the Irish Sea, and then crossing Southern Ireland towards the Atlantic Ocean. In less than an hour after leaving London, lunch was served, and this completely blew me away, guys. In every single one of my long-haul American Airlines flights over the last 3 years, I've tried to pre-order my lunch, and in every flight they failed to deliver, except this one. About a week before I took this flight, I pre-ordered the chicken tikka masala, or was it chicken tikka korma? I can't remember. To be honest, I think I was more surprised that I got the food that I pre-ordered. And yes, it tasted really good, washed down of course by a Bud Light. There was some sort of salad for starters, but to be honest, I just avoided that as I normally do. And for dessert, there was a caramel tart, and yep, it was delicious. And by the time lunch had finished, we were over the west coast of Ireland. The next land that we would see would of course be Newfoundland, Canada. And at some point over the North Atlantic, they served us an ice cream. And 90 minutes out of Philadelphia, this toastie was served with a piece of cheesecake and of course a Coke Zero. All in all, a very pleasant little lunch. As we make our initial approach into Philadelphia, how would I sum up this transatlantic service in premium economy on board American Airlines? The flight left on time and arrived just ahead of schedule. The cabin crew were as always very professional on board American Airlines, but as usual they weren't very engaging. But I didn't have a lot to complain about. After all, I got the lunch that I pre-ordered a week earlier, which was so much better than my last AA premium economy flight from London across to Phoenix when the cabin crew gave away my pre-ordered meal to another passenger. So all in all, this was probably one of my best premium economy transatlantic flights that I'd had in a long time. Welcome to Philadelphia, guys, and that was a very nice flight on board American Airlines in one of their newer Boeing 787-9 Dreamliners in premium economy. So if you want to continue to follow my journey from London Heathrow to Knoxville, Tennessee with American Airlines, you know what to do, guys. Please don't forget to hit that subscribe button and press the bell icon to be notified when my next video is published. And in the next episode, I'll walk you through the transit process here at Philadelphia, including how I got on using the new mobile passport checking app on my iPhone. So until that next episode, thank you very much for watching.